Hello and welcome back to the Larry D's Food for Thought Show. Today we are going to be eating a little food, not from Burger King, not from McDonald's, not from Chick-fil-A, not even from Buffalo Wild Wings, but we're going to be eating some spiritual food today, okay? And it will be coming out of the Old King James Bible, all right? Be reading out of the Old Testament and out of the New Testament, to the law and to the testimony. Okay. We'll also be going over a few scriptures today concerning the title, the tongue, an unruly member full of deadly poison. The tongue, an unruly member full of deadly poison. Okay. I'm gonna share these scriptures with you right quick. You can jot them down if you like. But yeah, I'm tell you, man, this old tongue of ours, whew, boy. I did this lesson here not too long ago. I think the latter part of 2025. But man, all the stuff I've been hearing, man, people talking, just evil speaking, man. I said, well, maybe I ought to do it again. Hopefully it'll help somebody. If they just happen to pull it up and see it on YouTube, maybe if they'll take the time to listen. And with these scriptures that we're going to go over today, hopefully it would help somebody. But yeah, man, I'm gonna tell you something. This tongue of ours, this thing we got in our mouths, man, it can boast some big stuff. It can get you in trouble. Get you in real trouble, especially with the Lord. Okay? Because the Lord, hey, He listening to us. He see everything we doing, and He is listening to every word we speak. So I say it's very important that we take our time and always, if you can, and even myself, try to think before we speak. Because we're gonna have to take an account of every word that we use. I'm gonna show you that in the Bible. But in any case, I'm going to stop sharing these and we are going to go over these scriptures and see can we get just a tad bit of understanding on it. Because, boy, I tell you what do you say? Loose lips sink ships. I'm telling you, a loose tongue can get you in trouble. All right. But let's get started with this. We're gonna start this in excuse me, we're gonna start this in James. Book of James. And I'm going to start reading at verse, let's see. I'll start reading at verse 2. And it reads, look, for in many things we offend all. If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man and able also to bridle the whole body. Look, verse 3. Behold, we put bits in the horses' mouths that they may obey us. We put them bits in their mouth. We turn to the left, turn to the right, man, and he go where we want him to go. Look, and we turn about the whole body. Behold, also the ships, which though they be so great, great big ships, tankers, aircraft carriers, big old ships, right? And are driven of fierce winds, yet are they turned about with a very small helm, whithersoever the governor listeth. Wherever the captain wanted to go, he used that small horn and he turned that thing, man, and uh and it go where he wanted to go. Look, but even so, the tongue is a little member. It's a little member in our mouths, right? And boasteth great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth. Verse 6. And the tongue is a fire, a whirl of iniquity, a whirl of sin. Look, so is the tongue among our members that it defileth the whole body. Look, and setteth on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire of hell. Boy, that tongue is something. Look at that. Verse 7, look, for every kind of beast and of birds and of serpents and of things in the sea is tamed and has been tamed of mankind. But the tongue can no man tame. Look, it is a unruly evil full of deadly poison. I told you. This thing, you think it ain't full of poison, buddy. But look, what the book say, all right? Look, Verse 9, therewith bless we God, even the Father, and therewith curse we men, which are made after the similitude of God. Out of the same mouth proceedeth blessings and cursing. My brethren, these things ought not so to be. Man, look at that. You bless the Lord, call yourself giving him glory and everything. Then you turn around and you cuss your brother or your sister out with that same mouth. He said, those things ought not so to be. Okay? But his tongue, excuse me, is a world of iniquity, people. But let's go over here and look at this right quick. Let's go over here to let's go to Mark. Go to Mark, let's see, go to Mark the seventh chapter. Mark 7. And I'm start reading at verse, let's see here. Verse 15. Now, right here is where Lord was speaking. This is Jesus speaking himself. This is in red, right? Most of this in red right here. But people like to use this scripture right here to try and justify eating anything. All you got to do is pray over it, right? But it ain't got nothing to do with eating. Nothing. Come on, stuff coming out that old mind of yours, right? That heart of your mind, right? But let's read. This is Mark 7:15. And it read, listen. There is nothing from without a man that entereth into him can defile him, but the things which come out of him, those are they that defile the man. That stuff that coming out of that old mind of yours through that tongue. All right. If any man have ears to hear, let him hear. Listen. And when he was entered into the house from the people, his disciples asked him concerning this parable. And he said unto them, are you so without understanding also? Do ye not perceive that whatsoever thing from without entereth into the man, it cannot defile him? Hmm. Mm. Okay, look, verse 20. And he said, that which cometh out of the man, that defileth the man. Okay, those words coming out of your mouth, ain't got nothing to do with food. Okay, look, for from within, out of the heart, out of your mind, look, of men proceed evil thoughts, adulterers, fornication, murderers, thieves, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, and evil eye, blasphemy, pride, and foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile the man. See that? And all that stuff come out of that mouth, man. And you got to have that tongue to speak, right? That is full of deadly poison. But let's move on. Let's go to the Old Testament right quick. So I'm going to show you over here. Going to Proverbs. Going to Proverbs. Let's see. Proverbs 15. And I'm going to start reading at verse 1. And it reads, listen, a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. And that is so true. Look, the tongue of the tongue of a wise person, look, uses knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. Oh, look, if somebody speaks some grievous words to you, don't render evil for evil, man. Look, give them a soft answer, and it would turn away that wrath, all right? But let's go a little further. Let's go right here to Psalms. Turn right here to Psalms. Let's see where we're going. Going to Psalms 19. Let me get over there. Psalms 19. And let's see here. I want to read one verse, verse 14. Listen, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart, of my mind, be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. So let those words be acceptable words before the Lord, because he's listening to everything we say, people. Okay? We got to be careful. We got to control that tongue, because it is full of iniquity. All right? But let's go back to the New Testament right quick. Gonna go over here to let's see where we're going here. We're going to Ephesians right quick. Going to Ephesians. Over here. Galatians, Ephesians. Going to Ephesians, the fourth chapter. These are four, and I want to read one verse right here. Verse 29. And it reads, listen, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth. Mm, look, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. Okay? So don't let no corrupt communication come out of your mouth unless it's going to edify somebody. And that corrupt communication ain't going to do it. Okay? But he said, trying to edify people, man. Because people are listening. Some people listen hard and closer to what you say than you think. All right. But let's go further. Let's go back to James right quick. Got something else I want to show you here. This is James, let's see. This is James, the fourth chapter. James 4. And I'm start reading at verse 11. And listen. And it reads, speak not evil one of another, brother. He that speaketh evil of his brother and judges his brother speaketh evil of the law and judges the law. But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge. But look, there is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. Who art thou that judgest another? Who are we to judge somebody? We got to get the mote out of our own eyes first, okay? Because look, man, shoot, we ain't all right. All right. But say, look, man, he said, don't speak evil on your brother, your sister. Man, speak kind words, edify. All right. But watch this tongue, man. Always think before you speak. And I tell myself that a lot. Okay. But let's go on. Let's see where we're at now. Let's go to Matthew's right quick. Something I want to show you here. This is Matthew's 22. Okay, Matthew's the 22nd chapter. And I'm going to start reading at verse, let's see, verse 35. Right here's a lawyer, man. He called and said, we want to say something to the Lord. And I want to ask him something, and but he was trying to trick him. Okay. He trying to be deceitful what he was doing. All right. But let's see what he got here. He was tempting him. Look, this is Matthew 22 and verse 35. And it reads, look, then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him, saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Okay. Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. Right? This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets, okay? So if you love your neighbor as yourself, you ain't gonna do him no harm. You ain't gonna speak evil of him. You ain't gonna lie on him, bear false witness against him. You're not gonna do none of those things, right? And then if you love him, you love yourself, all right? You ain't gonna hurt yourself. You ain't gonna do nothing to him either, all right? But he was telling him, man, shoot, man. We got to watch that tongue, though, people. All right. But let's go over here real quick. Let's go to Galatians. One, two, Galatians. Galatians, the sixth chapter. Take a quick look at this. This is Galatians 6. I don't want to read one verse right here. Verse 7. And it reads, look, be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Okay? So be careful what you sow. Be just like standing at the bottom of a hill. You roll the ball up and you stand there long enough, it's going to roll right back down on top of your head. Okay? So look, don't be careful what you sow out there, man. Be careful what you say to people. All right? Well, let's go. Okay, I got one more thing here over in Proverbs real quick. Going to Proverbs 6. And start reading at verse 16. I'm gonna show you some things the Lord really hate, people. And look, this is Proverbs 6 and 16, and it reads, listen, these 6 things doeth the Lord hate. Yeah, 7 are an abomination unto him. Verse 17, a proud look, a lying tongue. Okay. and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart, a mind that devises wicked imagination, feet to be swift in running to mischief. All right. A false witness that speaketh lies. Coming out that mouth, look, and he that soweth discord among brethren. So we got to be careful. Don't sow any lies. Speak peaceably. A soft answer will turn away wrath. Get yourself in a whole heap of trouble with somebody, and namely with the Lord. Okay, you don't want him getting angry with you. Okay, but let's go to this last place right quick. I'm gonna show you this because, man, I'm gonna tell you something. If we don't watch this mouth, boy, it's gonna come a day, gonna come a time when you're gonna look back and you're gonna say, why didn't I listen? Okay, well, let's take a look at this. This is Matthew 12. I'm gonna start reading at verse 34. All this in red. This is Jesus speaking himself. This is last place. All right, look, and it reads, O generation of vipers, how can ye, being evil, speak good things? Look, for out of the abundance of the heart, out of the abundance of your mind, people, look, the mouth speaketh. Mm. And how does it speak? With that tongue. All right. A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. Look, but I say unto you, the Lord saying this, look, but I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. Look, 37. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy word thou shalt be condemned. Condemned. Okay? So look, people, this tongue is a very unruly member, and it is full of deadly poison. That's why we have to use it wisely. Okay? So I hope that you understood this. I hope you it will help you. And just be kind to one another. All right? And be careful what we say to people. Okay? So with that food for thought, think on these scriptures and words throughout the course of the day. And until next time, peace.